America has a new hero, and she kicks butt. Join American Bliss in her exciting first issue, as she finds her way as the new champion of freedom.
Yes, there we go, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, guys. This means another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their books and their lives and the campaigns, because the mainstream has lost me. So corporate comics kind of blew it. And indie comics is where the fun is, guys, where the energy is, where the passion is. So yes. Guys, welcome all, welcome everyone. So American Bliss is now on Kickstarter. We went over 5k in euros, but still we went over 5k in euros on Kickstarter because we were on Indiegogo, and Indiegogo shadow banned the campaign for no reason. They told us, they didn't tell us anything. So I was like, go fuck yourself, Indiegogo. We're going to Kickstarter, and we're doing gangbusters there, man. So yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied with the results. I'm very grateful for everyone who support us there, who share, who talk about it. Thank you all so much. I did some updates today on the campaign page. Maybe I could show you quickly if I do it correctly. Let me see, entire screen, select tab. Wait, this is new. They did something new, so I have to check this and then this. Right, tab. I think this is it, right? Okay, so let me see. This is new, guys. This is since a few days ago. So David Lima is making a new cover, a cover C. It's still in work in progress stage. right now. But as you can see, the basics are set. So it will be fully rendered, inked, colored, everything, right? So this will be cover C. It's the first time ever that I did 3 covers for one book, but this is exclusively for Kickstarter, right? You want to give people something new when you move over to this new platform. And I added some add-ons because people asked about it. So we have you can get cover C as add-on now also, but you can also get the entire Perfect 10 collection as add-ons. If you missed Perfect 10, guys, and you want to buy this book, you still need or want Perfect 10, you can get it here, all 3 issues. Why? Because all the backers of the Perfect 10 campaign have the books now. Everything is shipped out, everything is on the way, except for 3, because 3 had a special commission, and I still haven't received the commissions from Brazil. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. I know they're in the country. They're at customs. I just need to get them to my house. So you can get them here as add-ons, right? Crossworld is here. And we added some prints that you can also get. And all digitals also. So yeah, stop sharing. Stop sharing. There we go. All right, guys. Let's see who is with us today in the chat. I saw. Hail the lore. Hail the lore. Welcome. Welcome to the show. And we have Manticore. Manticore, welcome, sir. Nice to see you. I saw Mike. Mike is here. Always is Mike here, of course. G'day, eh? New dude about it. All right. Darkside, welcome, sir. Darkside's Comics. As always, guys, subscribe to Darkside's channel. Daily comic book reviews. And we have Darren Wagner in the house. Give us the hustle on the Canadian Tussle. Yes, we're about to, because the man of the hour is waiting in the green room. He's new to the show, guys. He's brand new to the show, and this is awesome. I think many of you know him, but for those who don't, it is great that we can introduce him to you guys. So let's give a warm welcome to Mr. John Dillard.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
There he is. Woohoo!
Hello, Mr. Brink. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm so glad to finally meet you and talk to you.
Now, this is the first time I've met you, but I see you, and
yes.
I see you tertiarily everywhere.
Exactly. Right? It was more like a one-way street, right? I saw streams that you were on and doing your thing and promoting your campaign and your book, right? Because you were very active last time also with your previous book, the previous Buckler book.
Yes.
Right. And in the meantime, you've been working on the second one. Oh, this is the first one? Wait.
This is the first one, yeah. So
awesome.
This is the first book, The Buckler, Ascendancy. And now I got wind of, this new crowdfunding platform. So I decided I needed to get another book out. I can't wait to do because my normal art style is very time intensive.
Right.
I do a lot of detail, a lot of real in-depth coloring and stuff like that. And I couldn't wait for that because this is too exciting. Now when we have this new platform, right, this Fund My Comic platform, I needed to get something out there. I wanted to dedicate myself wholly to, this new platform. I mean, everybody, like you said yourself, your book got shadow banned for no reason. I know the reason your book got shadow banned. You're showing a beautiful blonde woman dressed in American attire with large breasts. That's why it got shadow banned, of course.
I don't know, man. It's no one told me, so it's just guesswork. It's just guessing.
You can't glorify America. You can't glorify the female form. You can't do that.
Oh yeah. Oh man. It's these are crazy times, man. But we need to find our way to navigate through this and get on the other side stronger, right?
Mhm.
And we now have some tools, so we need to talk about that. But before we do that, sir, I need to start with the question. I need to start the show with, what are you drinking?
Well, I'm not a big drinker. I don't like the taste of alcohol, so I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable. Right. So I had my wife mix me up in the blender a pina colada. We
Ooh,
didn't have any white rum, so we just used spice rum. But
spice
pineapple,
rum, right?
spice rum, pineapple, some orange juice, a little bit of extra pineapple juice, and actual pineapple spears blended up.
Wow, it sounds like a drink for a vacation.
It is.
Right.
It's nice. And I can
All right,
barely taste the alcohol.
right, all
What
right,
are you
man.
drinking?
Just cola, man. It's just cola. I always drink the same. I'm very boring. The only reason that I call my show this way is because it rhymes with my name. not not because I love to drink. Also, most of my guests are from America, and it's not really drinking time there right now. So
Right.
yeah. Anyway, John. Let's talk about you for a little bit before we dive into your campaign and your book.
Sure.
Out of curiosity, so what did you what 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 got you into making comic books? When did you start doing that?
Now, some guy at my work.
Some guy at your work?
Yeah, some guy at my work was like, "Hey," because I do art, right? Just in general, art.
Is that
Uh,
your job?
no, I was
Making
a
art?
truck driver. I
Oh, truck
was.
driver, really?
I was a truck driver. Not
Right.
anymore.
Okay.
So what happened was this guy told me, "Hey," because he saw me wearing a Batman T-shirt, and he says, "Hey, you like comics?" I said, "Yeah, I could take them or leave them. I like comics well enough. What business of it are yours, you know?" And he says, "Well, I'm a writer. We should make a comic book together." I said, "You're not a writer. You're a security guard." And he's like, "No, I write. I want to write a comic." I said, "Okay, fine. Let's do it." Let's see. So I went online and I typed in on YouTube how to make comics,
Okay.
how to make a comic book. Because I also draw. I do. I used to do at the work that I worked at as a truck driver. I did the window paintings for the holidays and stuff like that. I just did.
Right.
I used to do caricatures
Right.
at fairs and
That's how
stuff.
people knew. Yeah.
Right. So they knew that I did drawing stuff or arts.
Mhm.
But so I started looking at the stuff online, how to draw comics. I said, okay, I found some tutorials. I think Art by Jazza has one. There's a couple of other people that have tutorials. But YouTube has this great feature where it kind of auto scrolls to the next video. So as I was sitting there drawing on a piece of paper, it auto scrolled to a video from a guy named Richard C. Meyer, or your boy Zach.
Yes.
And this was way back in 2017. And he was talking about he had ideas because he wanted to make a comic. He had not yet come out with Jawbreakers. And so I was like, oh, this is really interesting because he seemed really enthusiastic, right, about it. And he was talking about all the, and I had seen it. I had seen all the garbage stuff that was in comics currently.
Yes.
It
Right.
didn't look great. And he was talking about it openly. And I was like, wow, it's kind of a breath of fresh air. And he was talking about how he was, he always wanted to make a comic, and he was throwing out ideas for like alien comics, another comic with military people. He didn't have a name for it yet, and I started throwing him because I watched his show live, which was really interesting. That's the first time I ever watched a live YouTuber.
Okay.
Before,
Right.
I would go to YouTube to watch videos on how to fix a screen door, But when I saw him, he was actually, it said a little red button, it said live. And I was like, oh, he's actually live right now talking. And I was typing in and he was responding. And I was like, that's really cool. So I was following him. I followed his channel and started watching him live. And then he introduced he's saying, I got a buddy who does comics for DC. He's going to start a channel named Ethan Van Sciver. And so Ethan started doing these videos late at night. And I was driving late at night, and driving trucks. And I would watch him, and he would just do these draw alongs on how to do a comic panel, things like that. And I really got into it, and I was like, okay, this is fantastic. And from there, he did a video which really hit it home, and that was the video. What do I have to go? Going to Michael's and buying supplies to do a comic book. Where he went to Michael's and he just bought all the stuff, and I was like, wow, this is a lot simpler than I thought it would be to get it done. But at the same time, he had a lot more respect for the medium than I did, right? I thought a comic book is a funny book, whatever, you know?
So you weren't really into comics. This was your...
No, like I had comics when I was younger, but
right.
I hadn't read comics in, you know, I probably stopped reading around 14, 15 years old. And then when I saw he was talking about some of his stuff that he did, and I was like, it started to blow my mind because he showed an image of something that he drew, and that was the image that actually got me into a comic book shop for the first time. It was the picture of the Flash, you know, leaning down, and it was that first time I saw full digital, beautiful color on a comic, and it was a big poster in front of my local comic book store. Kemp's Comic and Cards is what it was called. And I saw, oh, that's him. That's the guy that does that. I was like, that's fantastic. So immediately I got a little bit starstruck, right? I was like, all right, so let me take this a little more seriously. So I did a deep dive, right? I started doing a bunch of research into old comics, milestone issues, influential comics, that sort of thing, and started really getting back into it. And then they started releasing their own books. Your boy Zach did a book called Jawbreakers, and it did really well. And I was like, wow, this guy's crowdfunding a comic book, which I had never heard of. I never heard of Polito or nobody like that, right? I used to have, you know, the Lady Death and the Evil Ernie and the Witchblade and those books when I was a teenager, but didn't really, I never put names to the images in my head. I never looked inside the book and saw like the credits. Didn't bother.
You recognized the characters and the stuff, but you didn't really know the people behind it.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So then I started doing it, and then the guy dipped out on me. He was like, "Oh, I got a job doing something else." He moved to another state. The one that I was doing the comic book with.
Oh,
I was like,
okay,
whatever. And so I just I started my own YouTube channel and started doing drawings and stuff, and then started making friends in this community. You know, it was really fun. I got on a show really early on. The guys in CG used to do a show called Drawn and Quartered with Mike Miller.
Okay.
Where everybody would get on and they would draw a character, whatever.
Sure.
And then at the end of the show, somebody would win a print copy of that character. So then other people started doing a show called Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm pretty confident in my skills. Let me go and join that. I joined that. I won, but there was no prize. Right? So I said, well, because there's no prize, what's the point? So I went on to the other show with John Malin and Mike Miller and started harassing them saying, hey, I won the Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition. You ought to let me up there and compete against the pros.
Right.
And they were like, no, people can't take criticism. We're not going to do that. And I was like, what are you, sissy babies?
So, but you talked, so you visited their live streams and you were talking.
Yeah, I was super chatting harassment.
Super chatting, right.
Like,
okay, right.
Let me on, unless you're scared to lose to a nobody.
Right. Are you chicken?
So I did.
Yeah.
So they did. They eventually let me on. I went on there. I won. And then when
That's
I did
awesome.
that, people started hitting me up for commissions. Like, hey, I like that you draw. I like the style you draw in. Will you draw this for money? And I said, okay. And it got to the point, you know, and this is skipping a lot of heartbreak in between, right? But it got to the point after a couple of years that I was making more money doing commissions than at my job. Truck driving.
Right.
So early last year is when I finally made the decision that I'm going to now stop working, doing truck driving, and do art full time.
1 year ago.
Now, yeah.
Wow.
So now I do commissions. I do other people's books. I've done a couple of books already. I'm in the process of doing many more books for other people. And that's what I do now. I'm a full-time illustrator.
Holy shit. That's fantastic, man.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a lot better than driving a truck.
Of course. One sec. Let's say hi to Phantasmagorical.
Hey,
Welcome.
Fanta.
Welcome, Phantasmagorical. The Phantom Boomer. Hey, howdy. Howdy. So how did you even learn how to draw?
Oh,
Did you
YouTube.
study it, or is it this
YouTube,
natural talent?
Comicsgate and YouTube. That's how I learned.
No, but you knew how to draw before that, right?
Oh, I know how to draw. Yeah, I could draw. I drew. I paint. I used, like I said, I used to do caricatures. I mean, that right there was probably the most influential thing when it came to getting stuff done quickly.
Okay.
Because you have to have somebody sit down and then you draw them real fast because you have a line of people, right? So I would go to a carnival or a fair, pay my money to open up a booth, and then have people come in, sit down, and I would draw caricatures of them real fast and then go. And that really honed my skills to be able to capture a likeness of somebody and draw them real quick and from different angles and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, I always knew how to draw, but it was a real steep learning curve transferring that over to sequential artwork. That was real hard. And the first book I ever did was terrible. It was called Black Diamond. I had it with, it was some guy I met on a Facebook group, and golly, what an awful book that turned out to be. It made like $40, you know, it was just bad. Because I was doing it from the idea of, I wasn't doing it from the correct point of view. I was doing it from the idea that every image had to be self-contained and a bit wacky and not grounded in reality. And it showed that I was nowhere near ready, right? And not only that, I needed to step up my perspective game because I had spent a long time not dealing with perspective, only drawing from life, right?
Right.
And so I never used to put my characters on a plane just to begin with, and that's vital when drawing comics, right?
This is remarkable, man. That you weren't really that into comic books. You knew the basics of art, and then you actually produce a quality comic book. So you actually learned the visual storytelling style that comics use, right? So you got familiar with comics. I
got familiar with comics, but I didn't do it alone. I had a guy help me named Todd Mulrooney. He was the artist on the book Florida Man with Mike Barron.
Okay.
Now Todd is one of those guys that is like an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to how to put a page together, how things work. He's like, he has libraries of books, you know, and I needed to get in touch with those people that really lived and breathed comics, because maybe you don't know why it doesn't work, but you can tell it doesn't work because you have experience reading. I didn't have that experience, right? So I gave my book. I had like 4 or 5 editors. I gave it to Pixel Trader, who's doing Little Mermaid, right? I gave it to my buddy Rick Piper, who did the Canadian Shield. I gave it to another friend named Marsupial Gamer, who's a real, like one of those longtime comic aficionado fans kind of deal. And then I was like, go over this book with a fine tooth comb and tell me what's wrong with it, right? And I think simply just because I spent so much time on the book, there wasn't too much that needed fixing, and the stuff that did needed fixing, there was no way to go back without going back to formula to fix.
Right.
It was either too late to fix or it's good enough as it is. So I was like, okay, that's good. I had a bunch of people edit the lettering and stuff like that, but it came out pretty decent. Pretty decent. A lot of people seemed to really enjoy the book. As people were getting it, they were saying this is it's different and it works. It actually like resonates with people, right?
So that was the first Buckler comic or something else?
That was the first Buckler comic. That was this one, when this one came out.
Yeah.
People seemed to really like it. So I was like, okay. And that actually got me a lot more work. People started hitting me up like, yes, I want you to do my book. Like I did a book for Luke Stone called Riff Riders. That's finished. It's already done. And Did a couple of other smaller books, doing a book called The Awakening by Aslan Baiju. That's not out yet. Doing another book called Rift Rider, not Rift Riders, doing another book called Ocean Fang for Dario Hernandez of Glacier Mountain Comics, doing another book called Captain Infinity, which is done, but he wants me to come back and do 2 more extra pages.
Oh, wow. What did you do for Rift Riders? I thought Luke was the one who drew that.
No, I drew it, all of it.
Oh, you drew it? Okay.
Yeah. And
Great.
the thing is, I work in a lot of different styles, right? Like if you look at
that must be it. Right. Okay.
When I work on the main book, my stuff is very like, it looks like this, It's
Look at that. Guys, check the screen right now. Check that out. Holy shit, man.
like this is the style that I normally work in. Let me find another nice splash page to show you. But here we go. I work in this, very...
That's fantastic. You do the coloring also?
Yes.
Holy shit.
I work in this very traditional, comic book style. Like I like this page a lot. This is a little sequence of events where she's telling him to fight. She's flying above him. He's looking up at her, telling her, "Come on down here and fight me." Sissy ass. But again, even though I do work like that, I've worked in so many different areas. Like I've done everything from caricatures at fairs, and I even worked at my local amusement park doing caricatures for little kids, all the way to doing tattoos. I used to do tattoos in high school and stuff, right? Like I've done
wow.
artwork for every kind of in almost every medium. I do a little bit of sculpting. I do a bunch of stuff.
Wow.
So I have this. I do a broad range of things. But then when somebody said, "Hey, if you could do anything, if you could draw in any style you wanted, and that would make you money, this book that I'm doing right now is the way I would do it."
It's because
when my influences weren't so much comic book influences, right? Like I only have really one, and that's Mark Texiera. That's the one that got me into comics, because I saw his Ghost Rider and his Sabretooth comic books. And those are the ones with the big beefy dudes with the muscles and all that shit. I was like, oh man, he's the king of the upshot, right? The worm's eye view, looking up at the guy's crotch as he's muscular, It's fantastic. But mainly, I really like John Kricfalucci that does Ren and Stimpy. I like Bob Camp. I like Norman Rockwell. I like the exaggerated, cartoony looking human people. Right. That's what I like to draw. Like if I could draw that way, this style, and make money off of it, that's what I would do the rest of my life. But people, they like this stuff more. But
you notice they like that stuff better?
Yeah.
Right.
When it comes to comics, traditional Western comics, they prefer that to what I'm doing right now. But what I'm doing right now, this is what I love to do, because I love the expressiveness of the faces. I love the close-ups, the gross-ups. I love the big musculature. I like drawing people that are skinny and frail, extra skinny and frail.
Right. Yes. Let's say hi to Edwin, Raid of the White Leopard. Hello, Edwin.
What's up, Edwin?
Welcome. Did I say hi to Marv? I don't know. Marv? Hi, Marv. Did I say hi to Sumo? Sumo. Hello, Sumo. Hello, everyone. In case I missed anyone, I'm very sorry, guys. We're having a great chat here with Mr. John Dillard, and someone noted your gun, so your rifle.
Yeah.
It's
not a powerful rifle. It's a little 22.
Right. Okay, right. Okay, so now you have so you had the first buckler. How did that go? The crowdfunding,
it went fairly well.
Process there.
Like it fell in that in between area of this is catching fire, I really need to pursue this, and the area of this is garbage, nobody likes it, I should drop it and move on. It fell in between, right? Like the campaign did about 15,000 in total. So I was like, well, let's continue it, but we'll put it on the side burner, right? Because
15,
for instance, I did like 14 something, almost 15.
Well, for your first book, that's fantastic.
No, my first book was Black Diamond, and it did $40.
Okay, right. Okay, Well, we'll just disregard that one, right?
Then my second book, my second campaign was a thing called Tales from Beyond the Gate, which was an anthology that I was getting together a bunch of friends to do, and it failed to fund, and it was an abysmal failure. Everybody started fighting with each other. It was a mess. So this is the book that was actually my third campaign.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Captain Infinity. Hey, we welcome Captain Infinity.
Welcome. That's a guy right there I'm doing a book for, the Captain Infinity book.
Oh wow. So you're doing everything for other
That's how I make my money now. Yeah,
right.
I'm a freelance illustrator. I work for
That's
I draw.
that's a tremendous impressive career change, man. It's so you really went all in for your new career, studied comic books. So you knew you wanted to do comic books instead of maybe finding other ways to apply your drawing talent.
I don't
Right?
Look, I'm like an old fuddy duddy. I've been an old fuddy duddy since I was 13 years old. I don't like modern art. I don't appreciate fine art. I don't like noise. I don't like, I just like easy, simple things. And I love telling stories. Right.
Right.
And for me, the best way to go about that isn't through being a little, because I had an opportunity at one point to be in animation, and I didn't want to be a cog in a bigger machine, right? I wanted to be the only person telling the story, and comics is the only way you can do that.
Right. So this is your own story. You wrote it. You did everything.
Oh yes, I am the entire creative team on this book.
Right.
It's all me.
Fantastic. Okay, man. I got your campaign up. So to begin with, this campaign is not on one of the usual platforms, but this is on the new platform, Fund My Comic, right? So why did you decide to put your book on Fund My Comic?
Number one, more than anything, I wanted to put my book on Fund My Comic because of the accessibility to the platform creator. I had the opportunity when printing the previous Buckler book.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
To not go with a big printer, I went with a guy named what was his name? I forget his name, but he was a local printer from Texas, right? And he was in Comicsgate, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll print your book. Shoot me over the file, right?" And I was able to talk to him on like this, like I'm talking to you now on a live stream, but behind the scenes, and he was showing me my book on his machine, showing me how it was coming out as it was happening, right? I was like, this is fantastic. I don't have to deal with like emails and shit, Who uses emails anymore? But when you go to these printers who are all antiquated, you send them an email, you get a response in 2 days. What the fuck is that, right? So I was actually able to get in contact with the printer and do that. So then when I heard that there was a website opening up by Luke Stone, who I already had a working relationship with, that he was going to be making a crowdfunding website, like, dude, why wouldn't you want that sort of ability to have that access to somebody who could make a significant difference in your campaign? When I launched 2 days ago, like, we had problems. I had problems with my financing. He went in there and fixed it for me, so I could continue my campaign. Like, that sort of, real personal interaction is invaluable. But then, on top of that, this is a great place because it's an absolute free speech place. There's no rules against what you can or can't think or can or can't say, or the content of your book, or the appearance, or what it appears to be. Because one thing I hate, and this is what's always gotten me from the beginning, and the reason that I'm so solidly Comicsgate, right, is that I want to tell this story to you. Don't stop me in the middle of my story to tell me I'm saying something problematic. Don't stop me. Don't interrupt what I'm saying to say, well, actually, I think it's kind of like this. Just let me tell you the story. And this is what's going to allow me to do that. I don't have to worry about what I'm putting up. I don't have to worry about what other people are saying. If people are saying I don't like Dillard because he has gray hair, I'm going to go and complain about him to the complaints department. It falls on deaf ears. Your book is your book. If you don't like the book, go do something else. But if you do like this, you have unfettered access to it. And I love that about this platform. So I'm like, that's where I need to go. This is a solution to a problem that all of us have that are making books.
Yes.
Why aren't more people taking advantage of it? So this book is exclusively on Fund My Comic. I'm not doing this book anywhere else. Not Kickstarter, not Indiegogo, not Comic Go, not whatever. It's only going to be on Fund My Comic. Only. It's the only place you're going to be able to get it.
Exactly. Right. Shadowhawk Talks, welcome.
Hey,
Dillard, he says.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. This is the kind of platform that we all know that Indiegogo, Kickstarter, they either refuse access to certain creators because of reasons only they really understand. And then you have the shadow ban issue. Support is useless. They basically ghost you, So and then this guy from Crowdfunder, he came out to tell like half the comic creator population that they weren't welcome on his site. So this is the kind of site that we need. We've been telling some people say you can build your own a crowdfunding thing, and you can, on Shopify you can do a lot of stuff. But what we actually need is this central hub where everyone can go and find comic books that are free from censorship, where the only gatekeepers are the customers. So the customers decides what will succeed.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So this platform is possibly the answer, and I think we need to try to get people to check it out. So and this is a good start. If you say the buckler can only be found on Fund My Comic, it's still in beta stage, right?
It's still in beta stage, but everything works.
Yeah,
it's a fully functional running site. It works. The payouts work. The campaign setups work. It's run through Stripe, so you don't have to worry about the security of your personal information. It's all they use the same payment processing as Indiegogo and Kickstarter. Same thing. It's just a platform where you're not going to get shit on your head.
Exactly. And I've backed some comics already. It works exactly the same as the other platforms. It's very easy to use. It's very easy to navigate. And if there are things, the platform is still under construction. So if there are things,
they're still adding more features to this platform, which is great.
And the users can provide input, right? They can provide feedback. Yes. So it will be constructed to the experience of the user, right? I saw Area Blackness, by the way. Hello, Area. Welcome.
Hey.
And we trust Luke and Todd. Trust above everything. Yes. Yeah. So this site is against censorship and is run by a Christian. So it's a crazy.
Yeah, it's a Christian run site. But if I wanted to put, if I wanted to make a comic book version of the Bhagavad Gita, or if I wanted to make a comic book version of the Talmud or whatever, I wanted to put it up on there, it wouldn't be a problem. He's not censoring stuff. He's not censoring what you put on there,
Exactly.
It's fantastic.
I like this already, that you here see your avatar with some links to your social platforms, right? That's excellent. Okay, so about your campaign, you have 36 backers right now for a new platform, a new book. This is fantastic, man. You are now. Look at this. You are.
I'm fully funded. I was fully funded within the first 5 minutes.
Wow.
Now,
Fantastic.
granted, I was only asking for $40, but I got fully funded in the first 5 minutes.
Phantasmagorical says, I'll be a mod if you need someone to drop links. Oh, that would be great. Thank you so much. I'll do that. And meanwhile, I think it would be cool to check out the trailer. So here we go.
Hey, you! Are you tired of lame ass stories for kids? Well, don't be a moron. Walk through that door. What's wrong? Don't be a sissy baby. Just have a look. The Buckler, Canadian Tussle. Exclusively on Fun My Comic.
Nice. That was nice. That was cool. Exclusively on Fund My Comic. Yes. Phantasmagorical, you are now a moderator. If I did it correctly. Thank you.
Wait. Yeah,
Okay,
I tried to drop the link, but I'm not a mod either. I tried to drop the link to the campaign.
Yeah.
But
The link, by the way, is also in the description of the video, guys. I forgot to pin it in the chat. I'm sorry. Thank you, Phantasmagorical, for taking care of that. Okay. So, can you tell us a little bit about the Buckler? What is this concept? What is the story?
all right, so the Buckler is a villain character. The Buckler is not an anti-hero. He's a villain through and through. And this is a story about his journey to make that work. Because people can go through life being villains and have a full and fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that means to be the villain is explored in a little bit in the first book and a little bit in this book. This book, however, is more of a faster paced, because the first book was more of a study, a character study. This one is more of a bombastic, very, very violent and raunchy exposition that he has to undertake, because he has henchmen. And one thing the Buckler is furiously loyal to his people. And one of his henchmen got worked over pretty badly. And he needs to go now and take over the whorehouse on Mulberry, because and so it's kind of in the vein of the very same night that happened. He's showing up to take care of business, because you can't be messing with the Buckler's people.
Right.
And
So the Buckler wants to be a big villain, and he has minions and stuff.
Yes. Right now he has a grand total of 3 followers.
Right. Yeah.
But the
He's slowly
Buckler
building the empire.
Right.
Yes.
But because he has a superhuman ability, he has the proportional strength of 3 men.
Okay.
I don't go into how he got that power, and I haven't gone into how he got that power in print. I've told people the story already, but I haven't made the book yet. I'm going to save that for later. The origin's not as important as what he does with his power.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have the strength of 3 men. So even though he's alone out there doing things, he's already a force to be reckoned with in the underground criminal community. So he's a big player, and he's moving his way up. And I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. I'm sorry, I apologize. What this book is this is now going to be his first all action romp. Because the other one, it was more story and character driven. This one's more action driven and more comically driven. because there's a couple of situations that he gets into that are not exactly PG-13, right?
Right. Yes.
When you're dealing with somebody who works exclusively in the shadows as a villain, there's going to be some seedy stuff. So I said, you know what? I need to make a book. It needs to be dealing with very heavy and very serious themes, but I don't want to get people dour and down in the dumps. Let me change the art style to something fun and upbeat. So I decided to go with this Spumco style, this Bob Camp style of real bombastic, over the top animation, so that I can deal with these issues that are coming in the book that are really heavy, and it won't linger on them. It won't leave you with a sour taste. It'll
Right.
leave you as more of a almost a catharsis.
Just
By the end
fun.
of
You just want to provide people escapism, entertainment, right?
Right.
One sec. We have. Imagine if someone is in the chat. Welcome. He says, "Hi, chat, Dave and Dillard. Is there a way to get the other Buckler books?"
There is, but not on this campaign. If you want the other Buckler books, this is a real. Again, I built this campaign in 2 weeks.
Right.
Because I only heard about fundmycomic.com 3 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks ago, I decided I'm going to make a book, and I decided to come up with a whole new concept. And so from that to now has only been about 2 weeks. So I wasn't able to build this campaign out to be a full-on long campaign, right? This is kind of a real quick, concise thing. And I've always had this idea in my head of doing these stories very quickly, getting them out faster, more and having more iterations, and not so much time in between campaigns, time in between books to sit and have nothing, you know?
Right.
So if you wanted to get the other books, you would have just go to my Twitter. Everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, ArtStation, Facebook, everywhere I'm at, it's Dillard Draws. If you contact me, I can just, sell you the books.
Right.
You know,
Excellent. Amanda B, welcome. She says, driving, not drinking with Brink. Yes, we don't drive. And Captain Finity has a question. Is that for you? Or is that for someone else? Oh, it's for someone else. Sorry. Sorry, man. All right. So you actually created this concept because you wanted to put a book on Fund My Comics. So only 2 weeks ago you started this.
That's correct.
Holy shit.
Now, the story I've had for a while.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what? Let's just do, because it was going to be a really gruesome, gritty story drawn in a very hyper detailed style. But I said, you know what? Let's strip away the fat from that story, just get the good action parts, and we'll put that into a real comic-y, bombastic style book. So that's what I did. So I bumped it. I whittled it down all the way to 12 pages. So I can get this book done before the campaign even ends. Then I'm going to pair this book.
This book is 12 pages.
No, this book is 26 pages.
Okay.
But the one that's cartoony, the Canadian Tussle portion, this is going to be a double feature. So the Canadian Tussle is 12 pages. And then on the flip side and reverse is going to be a book called The Descent, which is the origin of how the Buckler became a villain. And that one I've also never printed out. I've done it, and I got it printed out by a buddy named Rick Piper, the one that did the Canadian Shield. I gave it to him. I said, use this on your campaign. I want no money for it, whatever. Just do it. Take the story. Do what you want with it. I'll print it later. Never got around to printing it. I never did. So I said, you know what? In order to make this book fill out and make it a value, right? I'll add that book as the double feature. So it's a 12-page story and a 14-page story, making it a 26-page story. And I'm going to be adding a few extra pages.
Sure.
It's going to be, when you get the book, it's going to be around about a 30-page floppy.
I get it.
And I wanted to make it, I really didn't want to, because again, I made this in such a fast clip. I didn't want to kind of handcuff myself by having to do the physical stuff. So what I did was I contracted with a guy named Dark Gift Comics.
Yeah.
Anthony Romano. He's going to be taking care of he's going to be taking care of the printing and the distribution and the fulfillment. So I don't have to deal with any of that. The only thing I'm going to be dealing with is the digital PDF. So I wanted all this available on a PDF so you can have it. Because this campaign, I really want to focus on getting more people to see, just to get their eyes in front of the Buckler. because I think this character, well, I know this character has potential, and he has a great story behind him. And everybody that has read the book so far loves it, right? They love the Buckler story so far. I just need more people seeing it. So I'm really trying to push that digital tier, which is why I made it $4.
Right. Yes. It's ridiculously cheap, guys. So check it out, guys. It's for $4. You have the digital copy. Captain Finity says Dillard's quick turnaround is impressive. Writing my comic took a decade. Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me turn off this heater. I'm getting hot. Be right back.
Sure. Captain Finity, well, I need 2 smart readers who can give straight shooting feedback, and Survey says Dan Wagner and Amanda B are best qualified. Right? Yeah, do that. It's very cool to get feedback and input from people who actually read comic books, right? Not just from other creators, but mostly the consumers, the fans. Other creators might not be as straightforward with the criticisms, because you do want to work together, or it's a small world, right? Okay, so you also created the story within a few days, right?
The story I've had it on the back burner for a while.
Story, right? Yes,
but
yes. Okay.
it's a real adult story. So I wanted to make sure this book is not for children. This book is for adults only. It's not rated R. It's probably, if you were to put a rating on it, it would probably be in the area of like NC-17.
Okay. Right.
So very adult.
Right. You just don't want to restrict yourself with telling what you want to tell, right?
And that's what's great about this platform is I can tell a story that's adult only story. I just can't show it on the site platform. I can't show you the stuff, right? Right. But I can make the book and I can sell the book.
Okay, I have this question which is more related to your setup of the page, right? So you have this one long visual. Was that easier for you than to just put in text?
Oh yes, I don't like text. Text is boring.
No, but there's nothing to do with Fuck My Comic, but more with your own preference.
No, it's my preference. Yeah.
Sure.
No, the thing is, you can do this just like Indiegogo or Kickstarter, where you have your big blocks of text giving you when I made this comic, this was happening and all that. But I don't like that. I like to have the big one piece showing, and I put all this assets in. Every single text on there is all inside of a Clip Studio file, right? It's all part of the image. It's all one image. And I wanted to have an ongoing theme throughout the whole thing, So that's the kind of route that I was going for, because it fits with this book. The book is very quick, very flowy, and very much insular of itself. It's a little experience. You know what I mean?
Right. So what is your estimated date for release, for finishing this book?
It should be right there on the page.
Oh, it should be on the page? Wait.
Oh no, it doesn't show it. Because the thing is this, I'm gonna have this run. I'm gonna have it running for 88 days. Right. Because the only reason I did that and not 60 days is because this site doesn't yet have a sign up. Right? Okay. So I wanted to let it run for an extra month just to make sure I got everybody's attention that wanted to be on this book can be on this book. Now, the other book, The Descent, is already finished. The 14-page book. That's done. And I have it finished and I have it ready in PDF file format. This book is not finished. However, this book is 9 pages drawn and 3 pages all the way finished. It's only 12 pages. So it's a quarter of the way done. This book is going to be done way before the 88 days is up. Right. Okay. So it'll be done before the campaign finishes. Right. So as soon as the campaign ends, the books are going out.
Sure.
Right. The digital books. But as soon as the 88 days ends, I'm going to be contacting Anthony, right? And getting all the print files to him so that he can then go and get the prints and get those shipped out as fast as he can. So as soon as the campaign ends, fulfillment begins.
All right, great. You have some, can you, as a creator, can you select how you want to receive the fundings? I see here you have keep it at all? Do you also have like that you have to reach the goal in order to get the funding?
I already
What are
raised
the
the
main?
goal. I already raised the $40.
Sure. Of course, yeah.
No,
No, but
on that website, I'm not sure how
oh, all right.
it works.
All right.
I know this is the thing. I'm making this book regardless. So it doesn't matter if I hit my goal or if I don't hit my goal. Obviously, I already hit my goal and I passed it. And the reason I put it that low is because I'm making the book whether you like it or not. This book is getting made. So I'm going to draw it. I'm going to finish it. It's going to be out there.
Yeah, and it's just.
But it would be great if you could support me on this, because that would actually give me the opportunity and give Luke Stone the opportunity to get something exclusive for Fund My Comics, to get this thing up and running. Like I wanted to hit the ground running on this campaign. I believe I did. And I want this website to also hit the ground running. And this is the way it's going to be able to do that. If people can see that people are willing, like if creators, bigger creators than me, better people than I, bigger creators out there, if they see that a campaign can go on this website and fund and do well and fulfill and it be viable, then they're going to want to come over here and join us.
Yes. That's the thing, man.
People are finicky and persnickety. They don't like change.
No.
And if something is working for them, especially if that's their sole income, they're very hesitant to change, right? Exactly. But if we can prove that this is the best avenue to go, then we're going to get people over here. And then again, we're going to have the rising tide. The more people that are over here, the more eyes that are over here, the more people are going to see your book. You're not going to be shadow banned. You're actually going to get foot traffic on this website.
Right. Yes. Yes. Especially for creators with a good reputation, and they make books and people like the comics, right? And suddenly you can only get them here. People will follow, right?
Yes. And you're getting a lot. You're getting a bunch. This is a whole bunch of stuff, and you're getting it for $4. It's $4.
Yeah, for $4, right? I noticed
for the price of a cup of coffee, you can make my dreams come true.
Yes. Comics Mate, welcome, Dean. Dillard is our guinea pig. Yeah, everyone
That's cool.
is watching.
I'm okay being a guinea pig.
That's true. I noticed that you don't ship worldwide.
That's right.
So
America,
baby. Right. So I bought.
No, I didn't have time to set up. I didn't have time to set up all that stuff. I know that Luke Stone went in and made it available because somebody wanted to buy the big tier, the tier that's the $200 tier, and I think that went to Finland or something like that.
Okay. Right.
But we're gonna make some changes. We might be able to get international shipping, but again, it's a slog, right? It's almost telling the customer, it's almost throwing the middle finger at the customer, having to charge them what it actually costs to ship to them.
Right.
It's crazy expensive.
Yes.
You know, getting a book to I think Finland or it costs somewhere in the area between $30 and $40.
Mm-hmm.
The book's $15 and you're going to pay $40 for shipping. It's a slap in the face, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'd rather, just if you're there, if you're out there, don't do that. Just get the digital. Just get the digital.
Get the digital.
And then when you get the digital, show it to your friends. Share it out.
But someone did reach out to you from Finland, and they managed to do this arrangement with Luke, right?
Yeah, we actually have two people that got and they're both from out of the country. They got the $200 tier.
Yeah, man, maybe you.
And unfortunately, I had to charge them $50 shipping.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
because not only that, they're also getting original artwork with that campaign, which is bigger, which causes a bigger package. And when you ship an 11 by 17 over, it's going to run. Honestly, I'm probably going to take a loss because it takes on average about $70 to send a book with an original artwork.
Mm-hmm.
It's about $70. So I charged them $50 for shipping. I'll take a small hit on that. Whatever.
Right.
I'm glad they like the buckler.
It looks nice. Looks interesting. Your new style is fun, and it's something you can maintain, right?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of nudity.
Good. Okay, guys, it has a lot of nudity. It's not censored. This is for adults. Is there something else that, before we close off, right? Is there something else that you want people to know about this campaign or
Yeah,
about
if you
your
don't
book?
back this campaign, you ain't black. That's what I say.
Okay, let's refresh. I don't know if this automatically shows new backers. So let's refresh. You have 36 backers. Come on. It's a little bit slow, but 36 backers. Guys, share this campaign. Tell everyone about the buckler. Share the link. The digital.
Yeah, let me say one more thing.
Sure.
I don't want to make you go too far over time, but what I was talking about earlier is 100% true. The reason I put this $4, it was originally supposed to be $3.50, but he won't let me put increments of 50 cents. I have to be a whole numbers. But I wanted to get this book in front of as many people as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is, and anybody in the chat here, Dean, Comics Mate, he'll tell you, everybody who makes a comic and everybody who has run a campaign will tell you the same thing. The absolute most important thing is people sharing your book on their platforms. Because getting the book in front of people is the absolute hardest part of doing a campaign. You can make a fantastic book. It could look like the Mona Lisa, and it's going to sit under a bushel and nobody's ever going to see it. It's hard. It is so hard because you're only one person to get this book in front of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get the access to this book as low as possible. $4. It's $4.
Right.
Get the digital, and then tell people, you know what? It's gonna be good. You know that the other book is good. You know, it's already happened. It's already out there. People know that it's good. It's going to be a good story.
It is good.
And even
if it's not good, it's only $4. You know,
no, except that it is good.
It is good. Exactly. Exactly.
And you can tell people, yeah, you know what? Try it out. It's $4. That's, for me, if you can take that campaign, the one that Fanta's sharing out there, that Fund My Comic link, and share that is going to do more than backing the book. Backing the book is great, but I need people to see this. I need people to get their eyes on the image, the red image of the buckler. That's what I need. And if you could do that, that would be the biggest help that you could give me.
Exactly, guys. So please share it. Talk about the buckler, and thank you all. Thank you all so much for supporting indie creators, for supporting John Dillard, and for supporting Fund My Comic. This is the kind of platform that we need, guys. We need this to be successful.
Thank you, Dave, for letting me get this out in front of people.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Stop the screen. I think stop sharing. There we go. Okay, John, thanks so much for being my guest today, sir, and showing us the buckler. And I hope you will get a billion gazillion backers.
Me too.
What we need to do is share this. So please, guys, share this out.
Share the video out. Share this YouTube video. Share this out. Share out the link.
Also, yes. And Comics Mate says, Dean says, I'll do the buckler as my warm up today. Tweet it out and all that. Yes. Thank you so much.
Rockstar. Thank you.
Guys, also check out American Bliss. It's we have 8 days left. So check it out. There are some new add-ons in case you're interested in new books. You can get the entire Perfect 10 series also through the campaign right now. Check it out, guys. And thank you all for watching us, for joining us today, for the questions, for the feedback, for the interaction, for sharing, and for like. If you like it, please like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike. I'm very sorry about that. And we will be back next week, same time, same channel, new guest. So I hope to see you guys then. Bye, guys.
Bye.